Alright guys, welcome back to the Northern MX channel. This is going to be another video on the YZ250F build. So in the last video you've seen me powder coat the hubs, the rim, and the spoke nipples on the rear wheel. I've actually gotten the parts in for the front wheel finally, so now I can start building these wheels back up. So let's get to it. So on these rear wheels, on these YZFs, YZs, I just did a set of wheels on a 2017 250 4-stroke YZ, and the rear spokes are the same. So you'll have two different bends here. There's two different rims. There's going to be the inner, which is this here, this long bend. So you get your bend and then you get a longer straight piece, and then you get the outers, which is a bend and then a shorter straightaway. So these are going to go on the inside. So right here is the inside. So they're going to go that way. And again, I'll link my other video in the description here, and I'll put a card up there. But when you put these inner ones in, they're going to kind of go in a counterclockwise fashion. And when you put these outer spokes in, they are going to go in a clockwise fashion. So you do the inners first and then you do the outers. And one thing I didn't mention in my last video is it's a good idea to put these rims underneath a couple of 2x4s on your bench. It just makes things easier as far as your spokes reaching the holes they need to reach. So if you don't, you might get a little bit confused because it might not seem like the spokes are long enough. But if you put a 2x4 on this side and raise it up 1.5 inches, it'll work out a little easier for you.
Perfect.
I got everything laced up here. Now, when you flip the rim over and start doing the second side of the rim, you may have to, you probably see me take out the inner spoke, put the outer spoke in, screw it in with the nipple, and then put the inner spoke back in. You might have to do that because things tend to tighten up a little bit on the second half of the rim. So now what I'll do is I'll grab my impact drill there, and I'll screw these nipples down until there's about 2 or 3 threads showing there. So these rims are looking great, or this rear rim is looking awesome. So usually I put these bearings in first, but this time I kind of just jumped the gun and did the lacing first. So I'm going to leave it just like this. I've got the bearings in the freezer, so it shouldn't be very hard to get these in. So I'll just knock them in right quick. All right, I got the bearings in there now. I lost about half the time lapse there. I forgot to hit the record button there. So, but there's tons of videos on how to do these bearings. So anyway, it's spinning nice and easy on there. I just got to find the the nut to make sure that it doesn't pop off on me or whatever. Like I was saying in the last video, I've never had an issue with this wheel going either way, doing it in the vise like this. So now you just find a mark. Let's see if I can find it here. And it's the same way as you do pretty much any other rim. So I'll go from these marks and I'll do every third one. So I'll tighten that one, skip 2, and then tighten that one, and then skip 2, tighten that one, and you do 3 revolutions of that. And then you'll get all of them in an even pattern. After the first rotation, then you start at the second one after your starting mark. So you do 1, 2, tighten, 1, 2, tighten. And then you do that all the way around, and then you come around and you start on the third one. And if you've done it right, on your third pass, you're gonna land on this one, just before this starting mark. All right, we got them all snugged up now, so let's spin it and see how far off we are here. Spin it. We're gonna definitely need some adjustment. So what I like to do is I like to kind of eye it up, take a step back, and kind of put the rim in the center of the hub, and that's usually my starting point. So then I adjust the rim from there and pull the rim back and forth as I go. So if the rim needs to come this way towards the sprocket side, then you're just going to tighten all these spokes. And if it needs to go towards the rotor side, then you're going to tighten all these spokes. And it's a different story on the up and down here. So you'll tighten all the spokes. Like if it goes up and then down, so you'll have to tighten all the spokes to bring it down, and possibly loosen these spokes a little bit to bring that rim that way. So other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I just put a little piece or something like that right here, just to see how much of a variance there is. I usually use a little Sharpie marker. All right, I got the wheel all torqued up now, so I torqued all of these to 36 inch-pounds. If they moved at all, if you true these wheels, you're going to come across a lot of spokes that won't turn anymore, and they're probably over torqued. But I mean, better over torqued than under torqued. I mean, it's part of the process. I found that it quite often happens where you're truing up a wheel and you get it true where you want it, and you try and torque everything up, and it won't turn anymore. It clicks right away. But I mean, that's okay. It's not a big deal, because I've actually tried to force it a little bit more just after the click, and it doesn't take much more force to move it. So you're in the range of 3 foot-pounds usually when you're truing these wheels up, if you've done it correctly. So I'm happy with this one. So I'm gonna take this out of the vise here, and then move on to the front hub. All right, so I got those bearings in now. Those were a lot easier going in than the rear ones. The rear ones were a little tight for some reason, but I got them in anyway. So this hub here, you want to have the, I know on a normal rim, a factory rim, you want to have the this side of the hub, the one not with the rotor, you want to have that side going with the numbers. But I have this new Tusk Impact rim here, so I'm gonna go with the numbers, I guess, and try and lace it up that way. And so the numbers are right here. So that means I'm going to go down on this side. These ones aren't so crucial that you have 2x4s. You can if you want to. They'll sit about that high, and it's a little bit high for what it is, but if you put the spokes in properly and just kind of finagle it around, it will work without it. So you can do it without the blocks on the front hub. And all the spokes on the front hub are all the same, so you don't have to worry about what holes you're putting it in, but you still want to start with the inner holes. So that is the only kind of tip I can give you with these ones. I had to stop the time lapse there just because I had a bit of a panic moment. I couldn't find one of the spoke nipples, so I found it anyways. As you can see, when I started lacing this up, I had to flip the rim around because on these Tusk brand wheels, the writing goes on the rotor side. So now that that's all done, now I can start doing like the last rim is just going one by one and just tightening it in until there's a couple threads left. Everything will still be loose, but then it'll be tight enough just to put on your truing stand, or in my case, the axle, and start spinning it and tightening everything in. I got the front wheel in the vise here, so it looks like I've got my work cut out for me to true this wheel. It's really bad. All right, so I got the front wheel done here. It was like really out of whack when I laced it up there, but I got it spinning really nice and true now. So it's definitely within that 2mm spec that Yamaha wants. So now I can call these wheels done. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of the video. So I've got the wheels behind me. They look just awesome. All the powder coating I did paid off. So in the next video, if you want to see it, make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell. I'm going to be putting these wheels back on the bike. So in between videos, I'll probably just put the tires on because there's a million installation videos for tires. So in the top of the next video, I'll put the sprocket on and probably the rotors too. So after that, I'll probably start building the brake systems up. So if you want to see that and you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell. And as always, thanks for watching.